Today on the Stay at Home Chef, I'm showing you how to make cinnamon roll twist bread. I'm taking my amazing recipe for classic cinnamon rolls and turning it into a loaf of bread that is sure to impress. This would make a great brunch item for a fancy brunch, or it would make a great gift to give to neighbors and friends that you want to impress, or maybe you just want to impress your family with your mad cooking skills. Any way you choose, this is a great recipe and it makes a really pretty loaf of bread. We're going to start by making our dough. Now, normally I would use my stand mixer, but today I'm going to show you how to make it by hand in case you don't have a stand mixer. But you can always use your mixer if you have one. Start by pouring 1 cup of lukewarm milk into a bowl. It should be just warm to the touch like a baby's bath water. Then I'm going to pour in 2 tablespoons of sugar and 1 tablespoon of instant yeast. Since I'm using instant yeast, there is no need to proof this, but if you're using some other kind of yeast, you may need to let it proof for about 10 minutes. Then we're going to add in 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 egg, and 3 tablespoons of softened butter, and you do need to make sure that that is soft. Next, I have 3 cups of flour, and I'm going to start by adding in about half a cup to a cup, and then stir this together. Now, if you are using a stand mixer, you would of course do this all in the stand mixer and let it do the work for you. We're going to keep adding in the flour until we have a nice dough ball. And at some point, this mixture will become too thick for me to stir anymore. And at that point, I'll have to start kneading it with my hands. But it's really not that big of a deal to get in there and knead it with your hands the old-fashioned way. You should end up with a nice, soft dough that is tacky, but not sticky enough to stick to your hands. Then transfer your dough to a lightly greased bowl, cover it with a towel, and let it rise until it's doubled in size, which will take about 1 hour, but that does depend on the temperature of your room, so just keep an eye on it. After your dough has doubled in size, roll it out on a lightly floured, clean countertop into a 12-inch by 18-inch rectangle. Then you're going to take half a cup of softened butter, and we're going to spread this over the dough, and you want to make sure that this is super soft, almost on the verge of melting, so that it spreads easily. Just going to plop the butter down there in the center and start spreading this with a butter knife into a nice even layer that reaches within half an inch of the edges of the dough. Then I'm going to take a cup of brown sugar and add in 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. Give that a quick stir and then sprinkle it in an even layer over the butter. And then I like to give the sugar a little pat so that it goes down and sticks into the butter. And then I'm going to start rolling this up and roll it as tightly as I can. Now, up until this point, we've been making pretty much just regular cinnamon rolls, but things are about to take a turn. I'm going to take a sharp knife and cut my dough in half lengthwise so that I have 2 long strips. And you want to make them fairly even. Then we're going to twist them together. So I'm going to pinch the ends and then start twisting this, pinch again, until the whole thing is all braided up. Now, it's not really a braid, but you want to make sure you get this twist as tight as possible. Then I'm going to loop it together and tuck in the ends here to form a circular wreath. Carefully transfer it to a parchment-lined baking sheet, and then we're going to bake this in a 325-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes. The top should be just kissed with golden brown. Thanks for watching. As always, you can find the full written recipe in the video description. Be sure to subscribe and check out the rest of my channel where you can find hundreds of restaurant quality recipes you can easily make at home. See you later.